Okay, I think we are live. Good morning, beloveds. Okay, let me try that again. Good morning, beloveds. I very rarely have the opportunity to just turn my alarm clock off. And today is the day that neither Tom nor I have anywhere to be until noon. And because it's going to be relatively cool today, I was like, well, I can go for a bike ride. I can either go for a walk early while it's cold, or I can go for a bike ride later when it warms up a little bit. So I turned my alarm off. Now, does that mean that I didn't wake up? Yeah, I would wake up, look at the clock and go, 5 more minutes. Well, not really. Most of the time I would look at the clock and go, 30 more minutes. And then finally I was just like, you know what? At some point my stomach is going to tell me off. And so I'm going to get up. I had a half day yesterday, so I only worked from 10 to 2. And then I got in the car and drove for 2 hours to a place called Giddings to meet my mother and my cousin for dinner. And they also, actually, my cousin drove 4 hours because he drove down to my mother and then from my mother to meet us. And then he took her home and then went back to his in-laws. So that boy was in the car for 6 hours. I was only in it for 4, or maybe it was 8 hours. Almost, yeah. I think his trip from my mother was like an hour and a half. So not that bad. But, okay. That's a really long trip, but we don't get to see each other very often, and it was worth it. And the food was really good. So if you happen to be in Giddings, Texas, I recommend the Giddings Brew House. I'm sure that their bar is wonderful because I can see a little bit of it. But the food was really good, and they were very nice because my mother's allergic to corn, which you would not believe how much corn is in our diet. Like salad dressings have high fructose corn syrup in them. And she even said she thought about ordering the sausages, but frequently they use high fructose corn syrup in the sausages. So she was like, yeah, no. But the food was really good. The staff was really nice, and they didn't mind us being there for 2 hours. And then we got in the car and drove home. So, yeah. But the trip out of Houston was definitely more difficult than the trip home. And then the GPS, because I used the GPS in my car, and the GPS said, hey, get off on 2920. And I went, what? Because from 249 it said 290 to basically Tomball, there's nothing. So it's dark and there's not a whole lot, and the speed limit's only 45. And I was like, but the closer you get to Houston, on 290, the heavier traffic gets. So I was like, okay, so, kind of want to do that in the daylight one time. So next time we go to the Sherwood Fair, we might try that and go that back way. So, okay. I'm sure you were thoroughly interested in what I did yesterday, but I guess I just needed to get it out. So, all right. This is what you're actually here for. So that's why I always tell people you can skip the preamble. You just wait until I put my glasses on, and then that tells you where I'm about to start the reading. Let's do the housekeeping really fast, and then we'll get on to the reading. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That gets you 1 email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot, which means it will take you to either the person or it'll either take you directly to the information or the person that can help you get it. And it's a real person doing it. So when I say 1 email, I mean it. The only reason you would get more than one is if something unusual happens. We're almost out of hurricane season. Of course, our infrastructure does not handle freezes very well. So, but that's it. Other than that, 1 email a week. Now, the last The last thing I want to mention is the social media. And I only mention them from the standpoint of we do not monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is go and engage with the pages. Go like, subscribe, share, comment. Hang on. Like, share, comment. No. On the individual pages. Like, follow, subscribe. Based on which platform it is. Because like on YouTube, I think you subscribe. But on Facebook, you like and follow. And you can do both. And then engage with the individual posts. But you can tell I'm just not awake this morning. On the individual posts, you can comment, share, and react. And I say react because you can like, love, wow. You got all of the reacts. Feel free to use any of them. Laugh, because occasionally I'm funny. Now, actually, I'm always funny. It is my goal to, I'm intentionally funny and unintentionally funny, but that's just my style, if I can make you laugh, then, and think about it while you are laughing, this kind of stuff does not have to be painful. I believe that it can be and should be joyful. So that's my take on it. Hence, yes, feel free to use the laugh react. Okay. It is a free and easy way that you can support the center, because when you engage with our pages and our posts, it bumps us in the algorithm and more people see our stuff. So that is the goal there. All right. Oh, I think I've gotten everything. Yeah. All right. So this is a library. This is a collection of Ernest Holmes books, a work that may not be found many other places. It is, I just need to wake up is what needs to happen. So we are doing Living Without Fear, which is a collection of his early Science of Mind articles. Discover a Richer Life, same thing. It was a collection of his Science of Mind articles. Because somebody went, hey, you know what? This stuff isn't readily available. Let's make it easier. So then they published a book, and then the book apparently wasn't readily available. So somebody put it in a collection. So that's what this is. I think I have Discover a Richer Life, but I don't think I have Living Without Fear in the little books. So, but that's what we're doing. And so we are in part 2, Growing from Fear to Faith. Growing from Fear to Freedom is in Living Without Fear. And our article today is Direct the Energy of Thought, which means I may need to look at the title because I may not have gotten it right. Because I'm just not quite awake yet. All right. So we've got the trusty highlighter. We've got the extra light source. Direct the energy of thought. It is unthinkable to believe in a God who creates humanity only to set them adrift in a nothingness, burdened with care, doubt, and uncertainty, destined eventually to go to a suppositional hell because they do not know enough to go to an equally suppositional heaven. If we believe in a God who creates people out of itself, then we must believe that since this God has intelligence enough to make humanity, they have resources enough to provide for the well-being, to provide for our well-being, right? We think, move, and act. We observe everywhere the intelligent phenomena of some cause. This presupposes the necessity of an underlying intelligence. Nature lies in the lap of an intelligence and life, which, without any apparent effort on its own part, provides both seed time and harvest. How then can we doubt that the power back of things is adequate and is a unit? Adequate is a strange choice of words, but okay, we're going to go with that. Originality, consciousness, spontaneity, and volition are evident at every turn in the road of human experience, making it unreasonable to hold a materialistic concept of life. There is but one plausible conclusion, that back of everything, coordinating everything, unifying everything, is a unitary power, knowing, all wise, all good, all beautiful, absolute, birthless, deathless, and changeless. Our popular religions, with their half-gods, are but difficult resting places of... It doesn't say difficult. I'm sorry. Let me start that sentence over again. That may be my own opinion creeping in there. Okay. Our popular religions, with their half-gods, are but different resting places of the mind, inns where the weary soul rests overnight on its journey from the extreme outer circumference of materialism to the inner consciousness of spiritual reality. That? Yes. That is a phrase that I intend to pocket and use. Okay? In the morning of a greater vision, with the dew of eternity on the grass of experience, the soul ventures forth to find a better God. And you know he doesn't mean that. He means half understanding of God and a better understanding of God. But, it's still an interesting way to describe the experience that humanity is having with the wildly infinite variety of religions that we have in this world. Okay. Our half concepts come as we need them and remain while we need them, to be fully drowned in a greater concept of reality. Every person's religion is good for them, though it may seem inadequate to others. Which is why Ernest says, don't take a person's religion away unless you have something better to offer. Okay? That is, Science of Mind's goal is never to take any person's religion away from them, because what we offer isn't necessarily better for them at the moment. What we offer them is a deeper understanding, but we certainly don't want to take their religion away from them. Okay. Religion has ever been an answer to the cry of the soul for something which is real, something which may be relied upon, a resting place for which every person instinctively feels the need. We are created, we are told, in the likeness of the eternal, after the image of the infinite. We sense a divinity within, a nature hidden in the cryptic interiors of our minds, which we have scarcely penetrated, a unity with the whole. The intuitive faculty which we use to uncover reality is evidence that this reality is already latent within us. It matters not if we reach this place through the inductive process of science or through the deductive process of revelation. It is useless for the materialist to say that the revelation is a myth, for it can be shown that science is an inductive process leading to deductions, and that all deductions are revelations. All life is a revelation from the cradle to the grave. By the revelation is meant the uncovering of that which already is, but is new to us. The most penetrating and far-reaching conclusions ever made by humanity have announced that that creation is a result of the self-contemplation of God. The law of the universe propels mind into action, action into creation, creation being an effect, a result. The creative word of universal intelligence projects itself into form. When we speak of the energy back of thought or the power of faith and prayer, we are not thinking of willpower, but of original power. The thought or the prayer merely uses an energy which already is. The scientist does not put energy into electricity, they take it out. If there is a law of thought, if there is evidence that any prayer was ever answered or that any person's faith has consummated in an objective realization of that faith, then there is evidence of an intelligence in the universe which accepts the word of faith and acts upon it. An intelligent person approaches prayer knowing that there is a universal law which acts on their word, and they use this law with definite knowledge that they are scientifically using a proved principle, a known, definite, and provable force. For them, the presence of intelligent law in the universe, which receives the impress of their thoughts and acts upon it, is an accepted and proved fact. They also know, however, that this law can only respond by corresponding. In other words, the measure of our faith in the infinite is the measure of our capacity to draw from the infinite. This is why the great teacher said that it is done unto us as we believe. If one can believe in a great good, then that much good can be done to them. It is according to our mental acceptance or mental equivalent, according to our faith, that life manifests through us and for us. Humanity measures life through their concepts. Automatically, thought has power. If anyone wishes to demonstrate a spiritual principle, which they may lay hold of and definitely use, let them forego any sense of coercion and become as a little child in receptivity. Let them definitely and consistently, consciously. Consistently is good too, but consciously. Let them definitely and consciously accept their good and continue accepting until they experience it. We must subject ourselves to the law if we wish the law to subject itself to us. A good-natured flexibility with oneself and a faith persisting in the face of anything which would contradict it is the only way to approach the principle of right action. A good-natured flexibility, which makes me think of the Rolling Stones song, you don't always get what you want, but you always get what you need. A good-natured flexibility. Deep within our minds is the spirit, which we but slightly comprehend. From this universal reservoir, a power of spiritual consciousness passes through our minds into action. When the mind is peaceful and still, it catches a vision of this greater good, which is the point of daily spiritual practice, is to create that peaceful mind to catch that greater vision. While the mind is in turmoil and conflict, it cannot receive an image beyond the vicious circle of that small measure in which it has been treading around. Somewhere, the walls of the measure must be broken down. We must learn that we can transcend our previous experience, that we are bigger than we know, that beyond the finite is the infinite, which is principle is not bound by precedent. That's what he just said there. Principle is not bound by precedent. We must transcend our previous experience. Just because it's been going this way, it does not have to continue to go this way if we are willing to step up. We will never arrive at the point of demonstration, experiencing the intended purpose of our prayer, while we believe we have to put energy into spirit, thus usurping the throne of the original creative genius. That there is a certain faith to which even our most materialistic scientists find themselves as subject in their realms as we shall ever be in the realm of mind and spirit. There is an energy in thought, not because we wish it to be so, but because it is so. Definite and specific thinking draws this energy through our conscious desires and makes manifest those desires at the level of our comprehension of good. Definite and specific thinking draws this energy through our conscious desires. That's a really interesting way of saying that. There must be a conscious belief on the part of the one seeking to demonstrate this principle that their faith and thought are but the avenues through which the law expresses itself to them. In the technique of spiritual mind treatment, thought merely uses the spirit hang on. Okay. Occasionally, I think I know where he's going. I think that's what's happening and then I put a word in and then I read the word and I was like, that's not the word. Okay. All right. Hang on. In the technique of spiritual mind treatment, thought merely uses the power intelligently. The will is the ability to select a specific thought that determines how the power is to be used. Okay. So we're not using willpower, just will. We're making a choice through will. Well enough to realize that there is an infinite intelligence back of everything. But if we have a problem to solve, we must know that this infinite intelligence is now solving it. This is to be remembered when giving a spiritual treatment. The treatment should be concrete, specific, conscious, definite, embodying the general ideas which one wishes to have become part of their experience. And I like it that he said general ideas, not specific ideas. It's like you gotta leave spirit room to play when you do treatments. You gotta leave spirit room to play because spirit will always find more creative ways to bring things to you than you can yourself. Trust me on that. I have seen it happen. While there is a point of decision and choice in treatment, there must be no outline. If the treatment is the cause, the demonstration is the effect, and is already in the cause, as the flower is in the seed, it is written, I am Alpha and Omega. Treatment should be given definitely and consciously with a complete acceptance that there is a power, an intelligence, a law which operates upon our word. Whatever the mind holds which denies this acceptance should be specifically attacked and consciously neutralized. The mind must be cleared of doubt and left open to accept the effect of the newly created cause. Any experience which proves to a person that their faith can loose an intelligent power which responds to them will be more salutary in their life than all of the knowledge of what the sages of the ages have written. One definite experience which proves the integrity of a person's spirit and its direct relationship to the universal mind and spirit will do more for the individual than to know all the teachings of theology. For thus alone can they arrive at the place where they can say, I know that, whereas I was blind, now I see. Which is why all of the education I have is no better than your demonstration. When you demonstrate for yourself, then all of the extra training that I've had doesn't mean anything. The demonstration that you do is always going to mean more than all of the studying that anybody can do. That's why Ernest says, the theory is great, go and practice. Go and practice. Because with each success, that will deepen your understanding. And it will deepen your understanding far more than all of the theology that we can teach you. Go and practice. Go and practice. The energy back of constructive thought is spirit. Spirit permeates everything. Hence, constructive thought calls the best out of any particular experience. One who uses the science of mind is a practical idealist, but not a dreamer. While there is in the innermost recesses of our soul a place which dwells in eternal stillness and inaction, there is also a place at the circumference of our being, which, animated by the inner spirit, goes forth to accomplish. Thus alone can contemplation become fruition, and inner recognition, outer realization. An unexpressed person is incomplete, and the objective universe through which alone we interpret the invisible cause is evidence enough that the original creative genius forever passes from formless energy through law into manifestation. We would defeat the very purpose of life should we live in a continuous state of meditation or prayer, oblivious to the objective world. The practical values of spiritual perception remain latent until objectified. Any attempt to isolate oneself from the world of action is contrary to the order of the universe. Hence, futile. So Ernest is not going to say, go lock yourself up in a monastery and just meditate all the time. He's like, no, go out and live your life. Go out and live your life. Just make sure that you make time to do this, because this will inform all parts of your active life. The practical religionist seeks to make their dreams come true, and unless their dreams are subjective hallucinations, they will become an actual experience if they demonstrate their principle. The average person may spend 15 minutes to an hour each day in meditation, but this amount of time is of infinitesimal value in their practical life, for it is here that they join the ideal to the real, receive inspiration for action and guidance towards accomplishment. See, inspiration to action. I think Jesse was talking about that on Sunday. It's like we go to these places to get the inspiration to go and do. To go and do. It's treat and move your feet. Mm-hmm. Treat and move your feet. In actual practice, they try to sense the union of spirit with everything they are doing. Their slightest desire is important to the universe, since it is some expression of the apparent mind through them. This gives a dignity to their slightest undertaking and places a greater value on human endeavors. The happiness of the individual life is essential to the universe. Let me repeat that. The happiness of the individual is essential to the universe. To the universal wholeness. For this, thus alone can it find an extension of itself. See, let me read that again. The happiness of the individual life is essential to the universal wholeness, for thus alone can it find an extension of itself. The universal whole does not want you to suffer. It does not want you to suffer. It wants you to express, and hopefully express, in happiness. The one seeking to demonstrate the power of spiritual mind treatment in everyday affairs should think of themselves as being divinely guided. They affirm that their mind is continually impressed with the images of right action and that everything in their life is controlled by love, harmony, and peace. That everything they do prosper and that the eternal energy back of all things animates everything they undertake. They should resolutely deny every objective evidence to the contrary, and in its place there should come a sense of right action. They should feel within them a unity with the Spirit in all people and running through all events. They should definitely declare that the Spirit within them is the Spirit of good, quickening into right action everything they touch, bringing out the best of their experiences, forever guiding and sustaining. The greatest good which has their mind... The greatest good which their mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as a part of their everyday experience. The greatest good which their mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as a part of their everyday experience. In other words, don't save the good stuff. For such daily meditation, they should venture forth into a life of action with the will to do, the determination to be, and the joy of becoming, or the joy in becoming. Well, okay then. Don't save the good stuff. Don't save the good stuff. And yeah. Wow. Okay. I walked away from that with don't save the good stuff. And now I'm definitely awake. So that's a good thing. That was a good one. All right. Yeah, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. And encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Eat all the good stuff today. Let moderation sit out this one day. Take care of yourself. Do what you got to do. Cuddle your fur babies. Hug your family. Hug the people that you're with day. And if you are not with anyone today, and that's okay, then simply hug everybody mentally. That you hug the entire world, I guess, mentally. Day. Yeah. Okay. Drink plenty of water day. It's okay to have that second piece of pie day. Go for a walk day. Especially after you eat day. Take a nap day, listen to some good music day, if you choose, watch some football day, know that you are enough day, no matter what's going on around you day. Don't let them get under your skin day, a good day. And if that's too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. May your rolls rise to the highest height. May your turkey come out juicy. And may you have the day that you envision. Reverend David should be on around, did I say explore the truth of your being, get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Okay. If I didn't say it, there I did. I want that reminder every day. I need that reminder every day for me. So Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. But again, it's Thanksgiving Day. You know, he may choose to do it early or he may do it really late. Who knows? I will be on sometime this afternoon to read chapter 4 of the Emma Curtis Christian Scientific Mental Practice book, which will take me about an hour. So I'll do that later. Take care of yourself. Know that you are, and then I'll be back tomorrow around 9-ish. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.